Good morning, Magic. I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast, and today we're going to be talking Flashback, a mechanic you'll find in Innistrad Midnight Hunt. All the way back in the early 2000s, the team was trying something new, the first ever graveyard-focused set. Set in the new Dominarian continent of Otaria, Odyssey kicked off the exploration into graveyard themes, with mechanics like Threshold, cycles like 5 Lurgoyfs, and also Flashback. It was pretty much an instant hit, getting 2 uses out of the same spell made for both powerful and cool design space, as cards like Call of the Herd and Firebolt showed up in tournaments. It definitely hit the competitive Spike audience, but it also scratched the brain of someone who looks for synergies by allowing players to self-mill or discard cards, like Roar of the Worm, to get the first casting out of them far earlier than normal. There wasn't really a Flashback deck, despite cards like Catalyst Stone and Quiet Speculation, but Flashback cards still saw plenty of general play. Now, at the time, we didn't reuse non-evergreen mechanics. Well, aside from in sets like Unhinged, where you see Blast from the Past. But if we had, I think most designers would have told you, yeah, you'll see Flashback again. And so, of course, many years later, we did in Time Spiral. Now, while normally it's cheating to say this appeared in Time Spiral block, since the block included nearly 40 keyword mechanics, Flashback actually was one of the core mechanics used in the set, with 10 new Flashback cards and the Flashback grantor, Drownu. Flashback mostly only appeared in Time Spiral, the first set, because the set was an entire gag about Magic's past and Flashback, flashing back to the past. Well, you get it. But the next big entry for Flashback wouldn't come until 2011, 10 years ago, when Innistrad came out. Innistrad took all the learnings from Odyssey to really build upon graveyard sets in a satisfying way. It was Victorian horror themed, which evoked the graveyard a lot better than Pit Fighters and Squid People of Odyssey. It wasn't partially about the not so enjoyable gameplay of discarding your own hand and sacrificing your own lands to hit the 7 cards of Threshold, like Odyssey was. But it also brought back Flashback with a little extra pizzazz. Not only was Flashback back, but you could actually build a Flashback deck. Burning Vengeance, and later on in Dark Ascension, Secrets of the Dead, gave some tools that people really tried building around. In Limited, it was one of the favorite sideways decks to build, perhaps only overshadowed by Spider Spawning, and while it never hit top tier constructed, it was a blast to play at FNM. Innistrad really cemented Flashback as here to stay. Oh, and a little card called Snapcaster Mage, a card made by Invitational winner Tiago Chan, was also put into Magic, impacting most constructed formats forever. So what has Flashback been up to since? Well, it had a whole Commander deck in Commander 2019 that was pretty cool, with Savine at the helm, and providing us cards like Savine's Reclamation. And of course, has had a handful of cards in Horizon sets, where throwing in mechanics are like ingredients in a soup, but it was absent from Shadows over Innistrad. Why is that, by the way? Well, fun design fact. One of the big reasons is that we wanted to clear the way for Dominaria to reuse it 2 years later, because flashing back to the past once again seemed like the perfect thing to do. But then Dominaria ultimately didn't end up wanting to use it. Design is funny like that sometimes. Anyway, it's finally back in Innistrad Midnight Hunt. There's several new cards, including the first ever multicolored Flashback cards. We've seen one of these already, and stay tuned for more. And speaking of Innistrad Midnight Hunt, be sure to tune in this Thursday, September 2nd at 9 a.m. Pacific time for a big reveal video over on the official Magic YouTube page as we prepare for the Harvest Festival. Werewolf fans, you will not want to miss this one. So, what's your favorite Flashback card? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll talk with you again on Wednesday. And in the meantime, may you cast your spells twice. You got this.
I really hope that you can just come in with the mindset of, if there's something that someone says, hey, we need someone to do this, always be available to volunteer. I volunteered to do a lot of random ad hoc stuff this summer, and that's led to me seeing a lot of different